guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Noxie, aka the girl on site, and today I'm taking you with me to the 16th annual Affordable Housing Conference hosted by IHS and sponsored by Nedbank. So IHS is a prominent property developer with a portfolio of 90 properties stretching across sub-Saharan Africa. So every year they get together and host this incredible conference in affordable housing. So this year's theme is navigating the future, which is fitting, considering all the notable political changes we've experienced both locally and internationally. So after a warm welcome from the managing director of IHS, the program started off with an economic overview presented by the chief economist of Nedbank. So Nikki Weimar, who took us through a forecast of major economic indicators, gave us an in-depth breakdown of what really influences market affordability. Things like income growth, consumer spend, all these things that are really, really relevant to my profession, especially in terms of managing high-density rental developments. You really want to know, what does your end user experience in terms of their pocket and their ability to afford rent, So fundamentally, these stats drive decision-making, especially in commercial investments, and it really guides us in directing our efforts towards the best returns. So this insightful opening to the agenda was followed by the first panel discussion, and this was on Central Johannesburg. This panel actually included the mayor of the city of Joburg, which was fantastic. I mean, the discussion was all about viewing the inner city as an economy in itself, breaking down the challenges that exist within that economy. Because what's interesting about Joburg is the fact that it's a multi-sector city. There's politics, there's banking, transport, education, business, and civil society. So it's the economic hub of South Africa, and it presents plenty of opportunities for economic success, but also many challenges resulting in economic strain. So issues like high municipal rates and poor service delivery were at the height of this discussion, guys. Because what's the point of developing a beautiful building if your tenants get robbed on the way to the bus stop, or if they struggle to afford the electricity bill, So with the mayor sitting right there with all the fellow panelists, I mean, we're including CEOs of funding institutions, property developers and stuff, it was really valuable to have a sense of what the mayor and his team are prioritizing when it comes to inner city regeneration and fundamentally making Joburg great again. Okay, so now it's time for a tea break. Time to step out, grab some refreshments, and of course, chat about the preceding presentations. Am I right? I think there are about 350 people here, so, it's pretty packed. I'm sure you can tell. Okay, so the next panel discussion topic was innovation in property. This was all about reimagining living spaces, innovation both during construction but also during the management phase of the development, because there is innovation in almost every process that we undertake, that's what we have to look for. Quite frankly, we've been building the same way for thousands of years, good old brick and mortar. But we've definitely seen numerous alternative building technologies being implemented, ABTs, green building certification is a thing, factory construction, there are all these new things. And it's because disruption is key. We need to change the way that we do things. So essentially, innovation is about identifying the bottlenecks and understanding why and where things aren't flowing the way that they should. So this was a really good chat. The next panel discussion is all about the ladies, women in property. We had a panel of female CEOs, guys, leading companies like public finance institutions. There were property developers and also prop tech firms. So similar to fintech, prop tech is basically just tech in the property sector. So think of software and apps in real estate and construction. That's what this was about. So this was a great discussion, like all the panels we've had, actually. But the bottom line from the ladies was that success takes time. Being a woman can't be the excuse for failure. Men don't have that excuse. They just fail and that's that. So there aren't any shortcuts for men, nor are there for women. And the advice that was given was for women to shift from being task-focused to being people-focused. And what that was just about saying men leverage their networks more than women do. And, this is something I learned early on in my career, and I'm glad that I did. You can actually catch up on that discussion in episode 3 of my Student Life playlist. Go check it out, all right? But for now, it's lunchtime. All right, the afternoon session. This was reserved for the keynote speaker, and we had Justice Malala on stage, a well-known author and political commentator. This was a nice change of scenery and pace for the day. He spoke about how the center of power in South Africa has really dispersed, especially in light of our recent political shift. So the sentiment was that this was the start of the age of instability, necessitating pragmatic leaders. According to Mr. Malala, the problem is that we always perceive failure in South Africa. And I personally feel that it's because our leadership has let us down so many times, guys. So look, it's hard to have a positive outlook, but for the most part, I'd say we've definitely witnessed some genuine change so far. As early as it is, let's try be positive, guys. How about that? So the day wrapped up with one last panel discussion on water scarcity, a very critical topic in light of the water issues we have in South Africa. Water stoppages and sometimes extended periods without water in some areas, poor water quality in other areas. I'm sure we haven't forgotten when the height of water issues in South Africa had Cape Town counting down to day 0. So this was a meaningful discussion to have. Saving water needs to be a priority not only for individual households, but also at the commercial level, in how we adopt technologies to make our developments water efficient, especially for the benefit of our users and our tenants. So there you have it, guys. Time for networking and cocktails. After such an amazing program, there was definitely a lot to talk about afterwards, over some drinks and canapes. The vibe was perfect, there was a whole entire saxophonist. The weather was perfect. Come on, man. Guys, this was such a great time, and I hope you enjoyed joining me. I'm sure you did, but I'd love it if you let me know by heading straight to the comments. Tell me what you thought about the conference, the discussions that took place, and also anything else that comes to mind. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and also share the content. I know you know someone who would benefit from watching. But otherwise, guys, that's it from me. Until next time, bye!